Hey, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining. So the NTSB, the National Traffic Safety Board, wants to be able to control the speed of your car. It's just the latest intrusion into our privacy and into our rights as drivers and car owners. And you know, whenever there's this kind of an intrusion, this kind of an overreach into our rights, it always follows some kind of a horrific event. And sure enough, about a year ago in Las Vegas, there was some jerk, some dirtbag who, I think it was a stolen Dodge Challenger, but in any event, it was a Dodge Challenger. And this guy, he had cocaine, he had PCP, and he had alcohol in his system. He was going 103 miles an hour through a red light into an intersection, and he killed 7 people, 7 family members in a minivan, as well as himself and the passenger, the female passenger in his own car. So nine dead because of this moron, this idiot, basically, doing something stupid. And what happens is the good people, the people who are responsible, always suffer at the hands of some idiot like this. And then the government always uses this as an overreach. It's basically taking away our freedoms in the name of safety. This is what always happens. But in any event, this is something that the government wants to do. The NTSB is recommending, and I think it's going to start, moving forward. There are probably a bunch of steps, but this has already been implemented in Europe. This goes into effect in the 2024 model year, whereby manufacturers of vehicles that are sold in Europe they're going to be required to use one of 4 systems that have already, and the manufacturers have already elected either one of these systems, and some have already implemented multiple systems in the vehicle. And here are the systems that they're implementing in Europe that are that are within the realm of what the European Union says is allowed in this regard. So one is on the light, and this is on the light end of the spectrum. Some cars will note speed limits through sign recognition and or GPS. The sign recognition will be cameras in the vehicles. So many vehicles have cameras now. So either using that technology or GPS, there will be an audible alert if the driver is exceeding the speed limit. Number 2, using the same type of technology, cameras in vehicles, as well as GPS, there would be a vibration throughout the driver's cockpit alerting the driver that they're exceeding the speed limit. As we go into the more invasive systems that are allowed by the manufacturers to put on cars, and again, some of them are using this, is haptic feedback, which automatically, get this, pushes back on the accelerator pedal if you're exceeding the speed limit. So it's going to push back on the accelerator pedal. And of course, supposedly they say, well, you can override this, whatever. But the 4th system and most invasive is speed control function, which cuts power input from the pedal once the speed limit is reached. And of course, whenever this kind of a thing happens, whenever they implement this kind of a regulation, it always starts on the lighter end, and then gradually, like the frog being boiled in water, without realizing what's going on, they gradually increase the regulations so that the most invasive is eventually the rule of the day. So this is what's happening in Europe, and it's something that the NTSB wants to implement in the United States. So, we already have something similar to this. I have a 2021 Grand Cherokee Trackhawk, and they have what's called forward collision warning with active braking. So, using a sensor, or kind of like a camera, kind of a sensor in the front of the vehicle, it's also, by the way, used in the speed control and cruise control, whereby you can set it and you can kind of set a distance. And if the cruise control is on and all of a sudden you start coming on traffic that's moving slower, it slows your car down. And if you're coming on cars that are really going much slower, it even applies brake pressure. So that's speed control, but also this forward collision warning system. When I first got the vehicle, I'm driving along, and sometimes you speed up on the vehicle in front of you, knowing that you're going to cut over to the left lane. Maybe you're speeding up to get ahead of a car in the left lane, and then you're going to cut over at the last minute. Well, I did this when I first got my car, and as I was approaching the vehicle in front of me, it applied the brakes. Now, that can be very dangerous big brother system, but you're able to turn that off. So I did turn that off so that that doesn't happen. It still, gives a warning sign and audible warning when I'm coming up on a vehicle too fast. But again, this is the same kind of technology. It also, moving forward, this is, they've talked about this too, that autonomous driving would be a lot safer than people autonomously, or rather independently, being able to operate their own vehicle. They've talked about this in the future, that maybe they would implement this first on the highways, so that you're driving around and you have, basically you have the ability to control your own vehicle. But then once you get on the freeway, or maybe even get in a certain lane on the freeway, maybe the middle lane, you basically back off, and the autonomous driving system will control your speed. It will control the distance between vehicles, and supposedly that would be a lot safer. But in any event, here we go again, giving up our freedoms for safety. And who was it? Ben Franklin that said back when, those who give up freedom for a little safety deserve neither the freedom nor the safety. In any event, I just wanted to, basically let everybody know what's going on. This is something that was in the news, but it wasn't necessarily something that was really out there. So I just wanted to let people know this is coming. It's something that, this is the kind of thing that's implemented kind of quietly, but the NTSB, the National Traffic Highway, let me make sure I've got this right. The National Transportation Safety Board wants to implement this. And after that horrible incident in Las Vegas about a year ago, this is now their recommendation. So that's it for now from me. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, and like this video. Those things really help me a lot. Take care. We'll see you next time.